What is up, guys? Wow, how about Millville? So we had that crazy 250 race, but the 450s, that was pretty good too. We got some interesting storylines. I believe Jett tossed one to his buddy and his brother in the first moto. I think he could have beat him. We got big problems with Eli Tomac, Jorge Prado, and Aaron Plessinger. It's not good. And I found some interesting facts about sports that do profit sharing. But if you haven't tried Nano-Extreme and you deal with some sort of a pain, I'm telling you, do yourself a favor and try this stuff. This isn't some icy hot cream. This is something that gets in there, helps promote healing, decreases inflammation. This is good stuff. Head over to Nano-Extreme, use code COOKSY and get free shipping. And I know a lot of you guys are preparing for Loretta Lynn's or other big races this summer, and you're worried about the heat. You see all these guys dropping off in Millville? Click the link, get your consultation with Coach Rob, and he'll help you figure out how to navigate through the heat and stay at your best and safe. So click that link and talk to Coach Rob. So AJ Wright's Crypto and VeChain are partnering to give away a bunch of Teslas. I think they're giving away 4 total. The final one's a Cybertruck. And you know what? If you don't like Teslas, they're going to give you cash. I think it's 42 grand for the next drawing, and I'm sure the Cybertruck's got to be worth a lot more than that. So they got some big giveaways over there. You're going to want to go register for that. Click the link below. Not only can he help you do all that, they're giving away tons of merchandise, 1,500 in crypto. AJ's been helping me with my crypto, and I'm up a lot.
You need people like me so you can point your fucking fingers and say, that's the bad guy.
So in that first moto, when Jett went down, I went, oh, okay, we're going to see another charge like Redbud. But there were a few different factors. So when he did it at Redbud, it was the second moto. Guys were more tired. The track was gnarlier. It's easier to get the separation and make up large chunks of time in the second moto. It's much easier then than it is the first moto. So I was interested to see if he's going to get through these guys just like the week before. And he did, like a hot knife through butter. Pulls up into second place, and his brother's got, what, an 8-9 second lead? I 100% believe if that was anyone besides Hunter Lawrence out there in the front, Jett would have ran them down. But he wanted to throw his brother a bone. You can see the frustration on Hunter Lawrence. Even though he's the second best guy, and in any other era, he'd be battling for titles. Like, he's a modern day Ryan Dungey. He just happens to have a brother who's an alien. And I know those two have a good relationship, but that doesn't mean it doesn't create some sort of tension or resentment. You can see it on Hunter's face. And part of me thinks that Hunter knows that Jett let him have that first one, and it might have made him even more mad. Like, oh man, you don't even go all out. You let me have that one. Hunter does not want to win that way. But he's going to take it however he can get it. And he's going to keep trying to push to beat Jett. And I'll tell you what, he's not the only frustrated guy out there. Jett has legends of the sport, some of the fastest dudes to ever throw a leg over a dirt bike, scratching their heads going, what is he doing? How is he that good? How can he beat us that bad? But I look at Chase Sexton, and I don't think he's that frustrated because he knows it's not that he's not trying. He's absolutely trying. But there's a different level when you're racing to win and when you're racing to just be there, podium, and build. When I watched Chase Sexton, it looks similar to when Jeffrey Hurlings was racing his way back into shape. Chase knows how long this season is, and he was burned out, and he knows, okay, I'm going to ease through the rest of these outdoors, and I'm cranking it up for SMX. That's when you're going to see Chase Sexton actually return. Back in the day, guys used to race the Golden State Nationals to prepare for Supercross. I know, outdoors to prepare for Supercross, but that's how they did it. But you watch those Golden State races and it gave you an idea of how they were going to finish, but they always found a little bit more when they got to the Supercross and they had to level up. You're going to see Chase do something exactly like that, and he is going to level up in SMX. Now, that is where I'm going to judge him against Jett Lawrence. Right now, I'm like, yeah, he's going hard and he's pushing, but he's not taking, Chase Sexton type chances. He's not going to that next level because he's saving himself. And I don't blame him one bit. This dude has raced so many times at that high level throughout the last 3 seasons. We're seeing the 3rd year of SMX. Now, it's only 2 extra races, but it's that intensity of restarting a new championship that's just truly worn these guys down. And I know this has been a problem in the sport for a long time. This schedule was too long when they added the 2 rounds. There's been guys who've had fatigue, Epstein-Barr, and run themselves into the ground long before, but now that they've added 2 more races, extra intensity, and really made it so these guys can't check out halfway through the outdoors and start their off season. Now you're not done. Even if you check out on outdoors, they go, okay, well, will they be back for SMX? And we didn't see it the first year. The second year we saw a little bit, but it's really hitting these guys here in the 3rd year. It's gnarly. Did you see Aaron Plessinger out there? This dude is shot. Look at all these guys that raced the full Supercross series. Not one of them is really doing well outdoors. And I'm not talking about the 250 guys. The 250 guys only do half the Supercross races, so it's not as bad for them. But these 450 guys that did 17 rounds of Supercross at a high level, they're burnt out. So unless we want to start significantly reducing riders' careers, we've got to figure something out with this schedule. Like I said, either let them qualify through Supercross or qualify through outdoors, but these dudes having to run every single round, it's just not reasonable. It's not. If we want to see our guys healthy at their best, this schedule doesn't work. There's no off season. And this is a brutal sport. This is one of the most brutal sports on earth. Professional football players play 17 games. I think it's 17 or the 18. 17 games or whatever. They only play that many games, and they say their season is too long, and then they need the off season to recover. Our guys are going 8 months out of the year. 8 months out of the year, they're at the highest intensity, charging to win championships. It's just not reasonable. As much as I love having this many races to watch, it's tough when you see all these different stars breaking down and just burning out. I would rather them race a few less races every year and last longer and be more successful, and we'll get to see them at their best. Right now, you're seeing some burned out guys that they're picking and choosing which races they're going to sit out or take off or not give their full effort, not because they're lazy, because they can't. It's physically impossible to do that every single weekend for 31 weeks every single year. It's not possible. As great as Hayden Deegan is for this sport, if he goes into that 450 class and does 3 straight years where he makes all 31 rounds, giving his full effort, that might be the end of his career. It takes a toll. I would much rather see Hayden Deegan have a 10-year career and race Supercross and SMX or outdoors and SMX. They need to find a way to give these guys a reprieve. And when you see guys like Aaron Plessinger going out there, even though he knows he's not 100%, it's because a lot of these guys, and I don't know his particular contract, but a lot of these guys get paid based on a certain amount. They have to complete a certain amount of the races to get their full pay. So even when the best idea is to rest up, sit out, get better, their contracts don't allow them to do that. They're not going to give up a significant amount of pay when they know, okay, well, I could go there. I'm not 100%. I'm not going to do very good, but at least I'll get my money. And when I say get their money, that's not from the series. That's from their sponsors, the factory, KTM, Honda. And I have to laugh at Weege on the broadcast, constantly talking about the different bonuses these guys make. This is a direct reaction to them knowing how much money the series makes and how little they pay back to their riders. So they're indirectly trying to put out the narrative of, wow, these guys make $100,000 a race. That's awesome. But could you imagine if you're watching the NBA and LeBron is playing out there for the Lakers and they're talking about how much money Nike's going to pay him if he scores 30 points every game? They don't. That's his personal sponsor. If they talk about a contract, it's the contract with his team, which is the league. Unfortunately, our league doesn't really pay. And I see a lot of you guys, you think you're real cute when you go, oh, they pay way better than MXGP. Is that what we're doing? Take a look at MXGP this weekend. 19 riders in the 250 class. That's embarrassing. This is supposed to be a world championship, and you get 19 250 riders and I think like 20 450 riders. That's embarrassing. You can't even fill a gate. And the reason that is in MXGP is they do not pay anything. I know SMX pays a little bit back. It's the worst split of revenue given back to athletes of any sport available, except MXGP, they give zero, nothing. And what happens is if you're not on any factory team, you don't go racing because there's nothing to win. There's nothing to gain. You cannot profit. You have to be on a team. And these teams, they field about 20 riders, about 20 factory riders. They offer some wild cards and those guys will come in once in a while, but there's no carrot to chase. The only goal is to go fast enough that one of these teams notices you and you get a job. And then a lot of you guys say, oh, well, promoters do a lot of work. They deserve money. Absolutely. Let me show you these statistics. Look at the major sports. At some point, they all engaged in profit sharing with the athletes, teams, riders, and they grew significantly. This chart, that little yellow number, that's before profit sharing. The other one, that's the revenue afterward. Sports leagues that have profit sharing grow 112.5% more than leagues that don't. The SMX League and MXGP is based on manufacturers showing off their machines to sell them to more people. But if you have a bigger audience, you can sell to more people. They win. Promoters, they win. They make a lot more money, and the riders are treated like a professional sport. If you can look at these statistics based on professional sports and business, if I'm wrong, please tell me. Show me why revenue sharing is just giving to the athletes. It's not. It's growing everyone. It's growing the entire sport. So when these promoters think I'm just trying to take money out of their pocket, I'm not. They're going to make more money, but the sport will be healthier as a whole. Look at all these sports. What happened to them when they started revenue sharing? If you're shipping anything, use Precision Transport. Do you work in logistics? You got a company and you need someone to help you out with your shipping needs? I'm telling you, if you want to look like a rock star, contact Precision Transport. That's pretransport.com. If you want to get a promotion, they'll probably help you. They're going to make you look awesome. Customer service, reasonable pricing, just good people. Hit up pretransport.com. So I got my new Alias gloves, and man, they fit good. I don't know what they did in design, but these are the best fitting gloves that I've had in a long, long time. The 25.5 gear is available. It's lightweight, good looking. So head over to Alias MX and get your gear. Now let's talk about the complete lack of concern for Justin Cooper's brain health. It blows my mind that 2 or 3 weeks removed from seeing a tragedy at Mammoth Mountain, let guys go out there in a compromised state. Anyone who saw that crash and saw Justin Cooper's reaction after that crash, that's about as obvious a concussion as you'll ever see. And they'll say, oh, he went through concussion protocol and passed. Yeah, what is a concussion protocol? And when's the last time a factory rider actually sat out because concussion protocol said you have to? Never. They have sat down a couple privateers, but it's because they don't really care about the privateers anyway. They don't care. They will gladly sit anyone out, but not if it costs them ratings or money. Any of these stars, they're like, oh, okay. What year is it? 1975? He's good. He cleared concussion protocol. And then when I hear guys say, oh, well, yeah, Justin Cooper said he was good to go. The last person you ever ask about a concussion is the dude who was concussed. If you watch the UFC, watch dudes get knocked flatline. They're out. They wake up. Whenever they wake up, they don't know they were knocked out. They're ready to fight. They're asking why I got stopped. So you're going to take that guy's advice on the head injury that we just witnessed. And when you send somebody out there in a compromised state, you're putting the other riders at risk. Not only are you risking Justin Cooper getting another concussion and having some major life-changing consequences, every other rider is out there going so fast, jumping so far, risking their lives, and they have to trust that he's in a mental state that he's not going to make a mistake that will cost them. And there's a new device called the HIT Plus. So what you can do is you can put these on everybody's helmets. So now when you crack your head, they have statistics, so they can go back and say he hit his head this hard. Now I don't think you can set a specific, oh, this guy's concussed because he hit that hard. Once again, I'm going to go back to the UFC. I've seen dudes get cracked. Some guys are fine. Some guys go unconscious. Concussions are different from every person, but this would give these guys the information they would need to really do an actual concussion evaluation. If a guy comes over telling you he's absolutely fine, but there's video of him cracking his head and you check the meter and it's 5 times higher than anyone else, yeah, he's concussed. You don't let that guy go no matter what test he passes. They need a little bit of time to rest. And what they don't take into consideration when doing concussion protocol is a lot of times you'll be fine until the heart rate goes up. So we won't see the mistake until about mid-moto when the dude forgets where he is. I don't know why that is, but that's something with these concussions. Sometimes low heart rate, you're fine. You remember everything, you're all good, you get through concussion protocol, you get onto the track, 15 minutes in, you don't know where you are. They really should look into these HIT Plus meters so they have a baseline to protect our riders. And the riders and their mentality, they have to be warriors. They have to be willing to go out there whenever. You're never going to get these guys that are going to say, oh yeah, I think I'll sit out today because I hit my head. They're just not the mentality. And they can't really have that mentality to be successful in this sport. That's why it takes people around them to look at the data and say, you're done. The lack of common sense when it comes to dealing with injuries blows my mind. I just don't understand why you can watch that. Anyone who saw that crash knows he shouldn't have raced that day. Oh boy, Eli Tomac, the wheels have come off. This is not good. This is looking like, remember when Eli used to have those weird rides where he'd ride around in the back of the pack? That's what this is looking like. And I think James Stewart nailed it perfectly. He's like, he doesn't know, he doesn't care about that. And it's not that Eli Tomac doesn't care, it's just, it's tough. It's tough when you can't win. And then the fact that he was disrespected from Yamaha. Let me walk you through how he got to where he is signing from KTM. So he decides he wants to go another year. He loves everything about the team. He wants to stay with Star Yamaha. The offer they made to him insulted him. John Tomac went and shopped Eli's services to Ducati, Triumph, and left Yamaha hanging for a little while. And then after deciding not to go with Triumph, not to go with Ducati, they went back to Yamaha and said, hey, you remember that deal? We'll take it. Yamaha's like, sorry, we've moved on, you're out. There was zero opportunity for him to go back. Once he left that original deal on the table, shopped it around, it was pulled. Tomac didn't know that. They didn't know that until they went back to accept that deal. But seeing the way he's riding, not being competitive, man, I really wonder if he's rethinking his idea to keep racing. Like I said, I will take him at his word, and he's always said, I want to race as long as I think I can win. I'm not sure that's the case anymore. I think he is accepted. He is not as good as Jett Lawrence. Does this mean he leaves KTM high and dry and doesn't ride for him next year? I don't know. He could. He absolutely could, because do you really want a guy performing? Do you want Eli Tomac? Do you want to pay Eli Tomac and prep bikes for Eli Tomac if he's going to get out there and ride in 10th place? I don't think KTM wants that. I don't think Eli wants that. So we'll have to see. Stay tuned on this one. This one could get interesting, and Yamaha pulling that deal back from Eli Tomac might have cost us a couple years of watching this legend on the track, and that's disappointing. Speaking of another guy that the wheels have come off, Jorge Prado, because I don't know where Jorge is. Jorge hasn't come over to the United States. This is Jorge Prado. George is blaming the Kawasaki. He says it's horrible, he can't ride it, it's slow, it doesn't handle well, but he's going really fast early in the moto. Is it the Kawasaki you blame when his lap times go from 202 to 208, up just over halfway through the moto? I don't think that's the Kawasaki. That's called conditioning. And I don't know if it's he's not adapted to the heat. I don't know what the actual deal is, but then he comes back. He's not saying it's his own conditioning. He's not saying he got hot. He's saying the bike sucks. And he didn't actually say the bike sucked, but you can read between the lines. He's complaining about the bike. But I'll tell you what, if they can't get this solved, this is going to be a long 2 years for Kawasaki and George. If he has many more finishes like the one he had at Millville, we're going to find out about the fine print on that contract and what the buyout is or how each side gets out of this contract, because I don't think that's acceptable for a reigning MXGP champion to come over here and finish behind Valentin Guillaume. But Jorge Prado and Kawasaki has been nothing short of a dumpster fire. I don't know where they go from here. It'll be really interesting to see if he can increase. I mean, he did better in the second moto, but he still was not even close to what they're paying for and what they expect. On a side note, what a great ride for Valentin. He was 8th place. And if you look at the results, he's probably writing home and saying, I was behind Tomac, ahead of Prado. And they're like, wait, the guy who won the last 2 GP championships, you beat him? Yes, I beat him. So good on you, Valentin. You're out there riding the wheels off that thing. And yeah, that's impressive. So 12-month members, thank you guys. If your name pops up on the screen, send me an email. In the subject, put 1-year member. Send me your YouTube handle, your address, and your shirt size, and we will get your shirt out to you. And Coach Rob has stepped up. He is so pumped and loves the members so much. He's like, you know what? Every single one of those 12-month members, you get a 1-year membership to Complete Racing Solutions. Now, if you're not training and you don't want it, don't worry about it. But if you really want to take advantage of it and get yourself in shape, if you are a 12-month member and your name just came up on that screen, reach out to me in the email and let me know you want to do the coach program, and I will connect you with them. Thank you guys. We're giving away some Nano Xtreme this month and the new Power Sports XQi3 electric motorcycle in December. Thank you guys so much. Here's your member of the day.
Let's start this off by saying, we got them. the illegal sale of American motorcycle racing. I present a case that reveals how the American Motorcyclist Association's 2008 sale of its racing properties constituted an illegal transfer of public trust into private hands. My name's B Mazy, and I'm here to stir shit up. So I made a song for you guys. You know, it's crazy that the riders still gotta pay to race, even though these guys are just filling their pockets because they're money-hungry, greedy, stupid mother, ex-circus owners, but still got the same mindset for the Supercross. Screw Feld, screw the AMA, and screw Rob Dingman.